what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Superpower Review, the show that brings you news and reviews on super cool comic book things. I'm your host, Kevin Vidini, and today's episode is about Justice League. And to help me talk about this subject, I brought my good friend, Steve Cline. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? What's up?
Nice to have you back.
Absolutely. Talk about Justice League, I am down.
Just as promised, the Justice League review show is here. So let's start off the show with some stats. Justice League had a budget of $300 million, and unfortunately it got a tomato meter of 40%. Rotten Tomatoes, 85% did like it of the audience, and but this weekend Justice League made a whopping $96 million in the box office this weekend, which is really not that good at all. I think worldwide it made $281 million worldwide. So really not a good off start. Steve, I know you watched the movie. What did you think of Justice League?
I loved the movie. I thought it was terrific. It hit all the beats that I wanted it to hit. It was flawed at some points. There was a couple of particularly lines that I didn't enjoy. But overall, if I had to give it a numerical rating, I'd say 8 out of 10 is where I would rate it. An
8 out of 10. Wow, that's pretty high. So, I mean, so obviously higher than the Rotten Tomato meter, obviously. IMDb gives it a 7.5 out of 10. I think the tomato meter is actually really low, and I think IMDb may be a bit too high. I'm like in the middle there. I really am. I'm kind of in the middle. I wasn't blown away by the movie, but I also wasn't really like hardly disappointed about it either. But I was that middleman in the whole take of the whole movie.
You sound about like a 5 out of 10 is where you want to go with this.
A 5 out of 10? No, I would bump it up a little bit more. I would go like a 6 or 6.5. But I really feel like it doesn't deserve that tomato meter rating. But I think it should be a little bit higher, to be quite honest.
I agree. I think the tomato reading meter is just way off. I don't think it deserves that type of rating at all. I think they totally misjudged this movie. It wasn't perfect, but it did not deserve that score at all.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And to be quite honest, with that Rotten Tomato meter, I really think that affected the movie very badly with how much it got in the box office this weekend, to be quite honest.
I agree. I wanted to believe that critics don't have that much influence on a box office draw of a movie. I really didn't think that, but now I'm a true believer. I believe that they have influence on the box office draw when they come out with negative reviews like this. This is just a direct correlation of that, and I definitely think it went into factor of why this movie didn't do too well in the opening weekend.
I really do as well. A lot of people want to compare, obviously, Marvel movies to DC movies, which, in a sense, I can see why you would, because obviously it's competition. But they are two way different entities. But the only comparison I'm really going to make with Marvel and a DC movie is obviously that Marvel took time into making the Avengers. It took multiple movies. DC's hitting it really hard right off the bat. This is, we had Batman versus Superman. Not too many character development in these DC movies, and then bang, right away we have a Justice League movie. Do you think it's too soon for a Justice League movie, Steve?
I think Warner Brothers and DC tried to build their universe off of in 2 movies where you're right. Marvel took the time, invested in singular characters, singular movies. They did the right thing on trying to build their characters, and they built into the team of the Avengers. And now, they have the whole sandbox to play with. You can pair characters like Thor and Hulk together in a movie, and it seems to go together, no issues. Where DC, they wanted to put Batman versus Superman, then they want to throw in Wonder Woman, a couple clips of Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, and then they want to shoot, they did Wonder Woman movie, which was great, and that's probably the direction they need to go in as these standalone movies. But right off you got Suicide Squad too as well, so they tried to do an ensemble movie with it.
Yeah.
And you do the Wonder Woman, and then you try to, jump right back into the ensemble movie and get your Justice League, and I think they're trying to build too fast, too quick, and trying to match Marvel, and it's just not working.
Right, and just to kind of rewind a little bit, especially having the death of Superman so soon in Batman versus Superman, I think was a little too soon as well. If there were a couple more Superman movies or more movies with Superman in it, if they did it right, and if Superman did die at the right time, I would have cried like a baby in the theaters. I really would. I've been like, no, she's gone. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm disappointed in the overall number for Justice League and what it's going to mean for the DCEU long term. I personally like the direction. I think they've had some missteps along the way, but I think their casting has been generally, positive.
Yeah, really, yeah.
I would hate for them to scrap characters like Ezra Miller's Flash or Jason Momoa's Aquaman or Harley Quinn or any of that. But I mean, in my opinion, heads are going to roll for this one on the top level.
I really think so too. DC definitely has to go back to the blueprint. But let's stop being so negative and talk about the really good things about Justice League. The things that we did like about Justice League. You guys got me because I was really excited for Justice League, and then I kind of had low expectations about it because, when you have low expectations, you kind of feel better about it after the movie. Like, oh, you know what? That was actually really good. I had low expectations, and then I heard all of you guys messaging through Messenger on Facebook, Instagram, saying, this movie's awesome. So I was like, you know what? Maybe just, Rotten Tomatoes just sucks so much, and I'm super excited. It did take me a little while to kind of like get a scene that happened and grabbed me, but the movie is really not as bad as Rotten Tomatoes makes it seem. Like my friend Steve Cline said, they do a great job casting these characters. I really feel like they do an absolute job. Aquaman is now cool.
Right.
I really like Aquaman in this movie. Who was your favorite character? We're both Batman fans in here. We both love Batman. Steve Cline is the true Batman fan. I don't know if you can see that Batcave back there, but Steve Cline is like the #1 Batman fan.
Oh man! Of course, I could take the easy cop out and say Batman, and that's probably is my real answer. But let's not go that direction. We've seen Batman enough in the DCEU. I thought Flash really stole the show in this one. I thought his comedic performance, he was the comedic relief in the movie.
Yeah.
He was the innocence in the movie. I really enjoyed his arc and what he brought to the team. I've also got to get major props to Superman. I thought they nailed him in this movie. You never saw him once challenged. He was the Superman that we all come to expect out of the comic books. I mean, Steppenwolf was nothing to him. He stepped over Steppenwolf. He took on the entire league. I mean, he was Superman in this movie. Yeah, CGI, not with taking the mustache may have been a little bad, but
yeah, that
did you notice that? Did you go into the movie looking for that?
You know what? No, I didn't. But somebody on Instagram posted spoilers on the movie, and of course I was fish hooked right in and could not stop watching the spoilers. Boo-hoo, shame on me. But when he was talking, I noticed his mouth it didn't look right. It looked weird. And then someone pointed out that he was in the Mission Impossible movie. He has a mustache, and they removed his mustache using CGI. So I was like, that's what that is? Oh, man.
Particularly the first scene when the movie opens up and they're doing like the home video.
Yeah.
I thought it was the most noticeable then. That and when they did a close-up shot of him and Batman, that scene was completely awesome. It had my favorite line in maybe any comic book movie altogether right there. But those two scenes, it really kind of caught my eye. Like, that doesn't look too hot, but I didn't let it take away from the experience for me.
No, it kind of looked like they took a top lip from a 14-year-old and put it on Henry Cavill. And sometimes his lip looked like his upper lip looked like way too thin than it normally is.
Yeah.
No, that was That was really bad for me. I was like, it's Superman with a very weird upper lip.
Right. I try not to pay attention to it, but I just let it go. I didn't let it ruin the experience.
When it's such a big movie like this, I really feel like that was something you just don't do on such a big movie like Justice League to fix some upper lip hair, as you will.
I wish they would have worked that out with Paramount. There should have been a better way to work that out, but it is what it is now.
It is, exactly. It is what it is right now. Yeah, Superman was really good in this movie. It was really nice to see Superman. I was kind of expecting the regenerative suit, to be quite honest, and because it was teased to us a little bit. And so I was kind of hoping for that. Not really sad about not seeing it. It doesn't make me change my mind about what I feel about the movie. Like, oh, no regenerative suit? Okay, screw this movie. It wasn't like that at all. But different. His suit was a bit different, I feel like, in this movie. I feel like they kind of upgraded it a little bit.
They did, and I was kind of hoping for the suit as well, but, we didn't get it. I didn't let it take away. But, yeah, I felt his suit was it changed a little bit. It was for the good. I mean, I enjoyed his character, his suit, his presence in the movie. And like I said, that one line when he picks up Batman, he grabs him by the jaw and he brings him real close. And he's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" Oh, I lost it in the theater.
Yeah, totally.
It was awesome.
And to me, that was my favorite scene out of that whole movie, the quote-unquote pet cemetery scene. Absolutely love that scene. It just goes to show you how strong Superman really is. Not anyone really could really take him on. And then Batman using his smarts, saying bring in the big guns, and Lois Lane comes. Yeah, it's brilliant. It really was. It was really brilliant.
It was also great in that scene whenever Cyborg, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman had a hold of him, and then the Flash is jumping in, and all of a sudden he turns around, Flash, oh crap!
Yeah,
that was good.
Really good. So going back to favorite characters too. I know you said the Flash, but let's talk about Cyborg a little bit. I thought Cyborg was really interesting in this movie, and to be quite honest, he was actually one of my favorite characters in this movie. I felt he was very mysterious, and he was well accurate in the comic books to this movie. Just taking over Batman's mechanics, his all his toys were really fun. So I really feel like they really hit the nail on the head with Cyborg.
I wasn't going into the movie expecting a lot from his character, but he really played a major role in this movie, and he had a lot of screen time. And I agree, they did a great job with him. I thought he was his backstory was a little darker compared to the others, but yeah, I think they did a terrific job. And then at the end of it, where he upgraded his suit, I thought that was much needed.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was very cool. I thought that was needed. So, like I said, all the characters really got a lot of shine in the movie, but him in particular, he had a big role in that movie, and that kind of surprised me.
Yeah. Now, I did pick up on a goof. Cyborg mentions that the mother boxes, correct? The mother boxes? The mother boxes weren't active until Superman died, but wasn't it the mother box that brought Cyborg to kind of like to who he is?
Correct. So, what are they doing there? That was a little gaffe that they didn't seem to fix. Yeah, you're right on that one. I have no explanation for it. And there's another that caught me off that they're trying to fix. So Wonder Woman, on the press tour, Gail was going around saying, well, it's not true. I was actually active for the past 100 years. I was just doing it in secret. So she was trying to play back what was said in BVS and how her character was portrayed in that movie. But then you go into this movie and they acknowledge it again. Batman comes out and says, you're not the person that you say you are because you have not been active. You have not been here for mankind for 100 years. So I thought that was another gaffe, that they're not quite on the same page with their storytelling, that it's just not as tight as it needs to be.
Loose ends.
Yeah, so that's one thing that they need to fix. Some of these small little gaffes like that, they just need to tighten that up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was definitely one thing I noticed. Is like, but But wasn't the mother box in Batman versus Superman when you see Cyborg like coming alive? Like something's not right here.
Hey, I wish I had an explanation for that one, but I don't. I don't know what they meant by that.
DC making me confused over here.
But I mean, back on the positive, I guess. We'll get back on the positive.
Yeah, let's get back on the positive.
I mean, we could probably sit here and nitpick the movie a little bit for sure, because I had other issues with it. But like you said, the mother boxes, those played a big role in the movie. I thought they did a good job of bringing those to the forefront, because those are super important items in the DC universe, and
Yes,
they did a good job of bringing them into the universe. They subtly put Green Lanterns into the movie. I did not expect that. I thought that was coming from maybe like an after credit scene, and you were going to see a Hal Jordan or John Stewart. But, you know, they just kind of casually slid Green Lanterns into the mythos. I thought that was a cool touch.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was a cool touch, yeah.
So I'll give them that. Mentioning the new gods, I thought that was a smart way to do that, and to bring in and mention Darkseid, which all the fans were crazy about. I thought that was a cool little nod there.
Yeah. It's cool to see Atlantis.
Yeah, that was awesome. So they do a good job of just kind of hitting these small little things here and there, and making the fans aware, but not generally focusing on them and building the whole movie around them. So I thought those were pretty cool things to speak about.
Yeah, right. Definitely one of another good scene too was seeing Batman at work in that first scene when he's going after that thief. Moves a window and you see Batman in the reflection. I thought that was nice. That was a good taste of Batman right there.
Right, that was a great way to open the movie. He closes that glass door, and you just see his reflection in back there. I thought that was super cool. And then, I mean, right off the bat, you got Batman fighting a parademon within the first 5 minutes of the movie. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. That was totally really cool. So, Justice League. You're watching this. You're seeing our review. What did you think of Justice League? And make sure you leave your comments in the section below. And I definitely want to hear what you have to say about Justice League. Steve, that's going to wrap up our show today. So a thumbs up for Justice League with you?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up? My thumb is like, it fell over. It kind of tilted, but that's okay. What's that?
You need that second viewing.
Yeah. Here, there you go. There you go. Two sideways thumbs. It's just kind of in the middle for me. Again, there were some really cool parts of it. Some parts that made me go, but it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like, blowing me back like, oh my God, this was amazing either.
What do you think about the after credit scene real quick?
After credit scene made me super excited. Love to see Deathstroke. And then if Jesse Eisenberg keeps acting like he just did in that part as Lex Luthor, now I'm starting to see Lex Luthor to what he really is or what he should be.
I agree. I hope that's something that, the direction they continue with that direction, and we get Lex Luthor, Deathstroke, Legion of Doom, and Justice League, whatever you want to say. I hope that's something that's still on the table, but we'll see.
Right, because I will scream like a little girl when I see Batman and Deathstroke going at it.
Yes.
And that suit looks amazing. When you think Batman's suit looks all big and bulky, you got Deathstroke's that just comes, and it's just like, man, I can't imagine what it's like to even wear those things. I wonder even how much those things even weigh.
That's what I was thinking when Deathstroke was walking up those steps. Like, man, that's got to weigh a lot to be carrying that around, dude. I can only imagine doing action sequences in that outfit.
Yeah, because in the DC movies, they actually wear the suits for the fight scenes. It's not like Marvel where they CG everything. Right. They do it the real way. DC does it the real way. I give them that. Yeah, DC, that's one thing for props for DC is that the characters actually wear the suits. I'm sure it's grueling and tiring, but man, it really it does make it look so much better.
I agree. I hope we get to see more of it. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. Give me Batman. I'm ready for Batman, and Ben Affleck better be in it. That's all I'm saying. Steve, thank you so much for being on the show today and taking the time to be on the show. I really appreciate it. It's nice to have you on here for DC Talks because, you know, look at his back room, everybody. Can we get a full screenshot of, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Here. All that stuff. That is a true Batman fan right there, everybody. That is a huge Batman fan. Steve, thank you so much. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. If you like this video, make sure you like it. And if you want to see more from this channel, make sure you subscribe. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys real soon.